You know, whenever the topic of AI and our jobs comes up, the conversation almost always goes to one place: fear. The fear of being replaced. But what if that entire fear is built on a totally flawed idea? What if we've been looking at AI all wrong?
So that's the million-dollar question, right? Is AI just destined to make us all obsolete? Well, the surprising answer is, it's not some destiny we can't control. It's actually a design choice.
And that choice, well, it puts us at a fork in the road, leading to two completely different futures. On one side, you've got task replacement. That's the zero-sum game, where for every task AI takes over, a human loses out. But on the other side, there's a much more interesting idea: intent amplification. This is a positive-sum game, where the whole point of AI isn't to replace us, but to make us way, way better at what we do.
Okay, so to really understand the solution, we first have to get real about the problem. I mean, this fear of displacement, it isn't just paranoia. It's a totally logical conclusion if you look at how most AI systems have been built up to now.
The logic is actually brutally simple. Step 1, you find all the repetitive stuff people do. Step 2, you automate it to cut down on labor costs. And the final, kind of inevitable step in that model, you remove the human from the loop. It's just a straight line from efficiency to displacement.
So what you end up with is this zero-sum equation, where the company's gain is the employee's loss. It's a system designed to optimize for one thing: pure output, not for human potential. And that right there, that's the fundamental flaw we've got to fix.
So, how do we fix it? We need a whole new way of thinking. Instead of just building shinier tools for a broken system, we need a completely new operating system for work, one that shifts the entire focus away from automating tasks and toward amplifying human intent. So let's give it a name. Let's call it an Intent OS. Now, this isn't just another app or some new software. It's a fundamental change in principle. It's a system built from the ground up, not to do a person's job, but to understand what that person is trying to achieve, their goals, their objectives, and then help them do it 10 times better.
This quote just nails the whole philosophical shift. The question is no longer, hey, what tasks can we get a robot to do? Instead, it's, what is this person trying to accomplish, and how can we build a system that acts like a true partner in helping them get there?
And this is where it gets exciting, because this completely flips the script from a zero-sum game to a positive-sum one. AI expands what one person is capable of, freeing us up from all the repetitive grind to focus on the really high-value stuff. Strategy, creativity, big-picture thinking. Work isn't eliminated, it's elevated.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but what does it actually feel like in practice? Let's walk through a day in the life of an employee who is amplified, not threatened by their AI partner.
It's not just a one-off thing. It's this awesome reinforcing cycle. It all kicks off with something called intent onboarding, where the system gets to know your goals, not just your job title. That then feeds into your daily work loop, making you more effective every day. And that, in turn, fuels a continuous growth loop that makes you more and more valuable over time.
I mean, think about your day-to-day. A personal AI agent like this just completely changes the game. It gets your style, your goals. It brings you the exact info you need right when you need it. This just crushes decision fatigue. It handles all the heavy lifting, like research or drafting documents, and it's always learning from you to become an even better sidekick.
And here's maybe the most important part, the crucial distinction we have to make. The agent prepares insights, it summarizes data, but it never replaces your final judgment. It's there to make you exponentially better at your work, not do your work for you. It's a partner for your thought process, plain and simple.
So when you have a shift this big, it doesn't just change one person's workflow. It starts to fundamentally reshape the entire company. The very idea of what a role is, what management is, begins to evolve.
You can see the transformation pretty clearly here. Roles go from being static and rigid to being dynamic and based on intent. Your daily focus shifts from just getting tasks done to high-level strategic thinking. And performance? It goes from being this subjective, once-a-year review to a continuous, objective conversation about growth.
And here's the kicker. Far from just getting rid of jobs, this new OS creates entirely new kinds of work. I mean, we'll see totally new roles pop up, like intent architects, who design how humans and AI collaborate, or agent trainers, who make sure the AI partners are perfectly in sync with our goals. These jobs are going to become essential.
So the big takeaway here is that human jobs don't just, poof, disappear. They evolve. They move upward.
away from the stuff that can be automated and toward the things that are uniquely human. Deep, strategic thinking, real creativity, and making those tough judgment calls. Ultimately, this is so much bigger than just technology or productivity. It's really about changing the fundamental relationship people have with their work. It's about shifting that whole story from fear to empowerment. But to do that, you need trust.
But, and this is a big but, for a system like this to ever be embraced instead of resisted, it has to be built on a foundation of absolute trust. And that trust really, it rests on three, let's call them unbreakable rules.
Okay, rule number 1. The agent has to work for the employee first, not just the company. Its primary goal is to unlock your potential. Rule 2. Transparency has to be absolute. No black boxes, you need to know how it works and why it's making certain suggestions. And 3. Your growth has to be visible and tangible. You need to actually feel yourself getting better and more capable week after week. And this just gets to the very heart of it. This quote is the deep, psychological truth that's driving this entire conversation. People aren't really afraid of the technology, they're afraid of being left behind. They're afraid of becoming irrelevant in a world that's changing at lightning speed.
And Intent OS tackles that core fear head-on. By its very design, it makes every single person more capable in their job, more aligned with their team, and ultimately, more essential to the whole organization. It actually makes you irreplaceable. So, let's just end with this thought. What if we've been asking the wrong question this whole time? What if the real promise of AI was never about cutting costs by replacing people, but about creating unimaginable value by compounding their unique human potential?